Hello everyone, welcome back to Stream Dialogue. I want to do a episode of Let's Reason. This is my flagship show that I do just to talk about issues. So I want to talk about oligarchy. Oligarchy in our countries. Whether you're in Africa, the Caribbean, wherever you are in this world that is under whatever country you are in that is under neo-colonialism, you have an oligarchy that exists. And what is a oligarchy? These are the people who mainly control your economy, control your wealth, your politics, policies in your country. And these people normally work on behalf of imperialists. So one of the things that I just covered a story of the brutal drone attack that happened in Haiti, unaliving, taking the lives of innocent children and probably innocent adults as well. But behind all that is the politician, and behind the politician are the oligarchs, those who control the economy of Haiti. I spoke about those who truly control the economy of Jamaica. These people, the McConnell, the Hendricksons, and so forth, the Matalans, those people control the resources, economy, import, export, and so forth. But they don't just work in a vacuum. These people work with oligarchies or oligarchs, elites from Western country. And if you don't think elites are the ones who control Western country, you will think again. Western politicians are just puppets, in my opinion, as our puppets, as our politician in in countries in the global south, in Africa, in the Caribbean, and so forth. So these elites normally work together. Of course, Western elites are at the top of the food chain. Under them, you have elites from our countries, from a lot of these countries in the global south. So how does the elite work in our country? Number one, they take control of institutions. They take control. Yes, they have control of the economy, of course, but they have the money, so they can easily take control of our institution. So political parties, even if they don't create a political party, they have the means to bribe officials. And if a politician or if an activist does not bend the knee to them, that activist can be taken out in different ways. They can take out to you know the so-called legal system. They can be taken out that way, or they can be taken out like a lot of our leaders and pan-Africanist activists have been taken out. So number one, these are the people who fund political campaign. Have you ever wondered why our politicians have been able to go around and hand out, some sometimes they will hand out free car, bicycle, food, whatever it is they will hand out. So they're the big business are the ones who normally fund that stuff. And they fund both sides. Sometimes they even fund opposition that they know won't win. But still they have to have this, they have to set the narrative, number one. So you look like you have democracy, and you look like you have a debate, but the debate will not veer to a place where you, let's say, free healthcare, breaking up monopolies, true independence. That the debate will not get there. You will get some petty debate. Maybe they keep the debate down to a tribal setting, down to a you know stupid stuff, that's not relevant, that will free the people and give true economic in um economic freedom. And that's what they do. But also, these people like to fund hate. You see, in a lot of Western countries, it's very it's demonization of one group or another. But the whole thing is to put working class people, people who have more in common than with a billionaire. You know, a poor guy have more in kind of common with a, you know, let's say in the United States, a poor white guy should have more in common with a poor black guy or a poor, you know, Hispanic person, or a poor, you know, a poor person from a different race, whatever that person is, than with a billionaire or a multi-billionaire that control X, Y, and Z. But yet still people are being manipulated by this class, this ruling class, to not look at us as the problem, not look at them, the ruling class, as the problem, but look at your fellow, citizen as the problem. So those are the things, and they like to fund hatred. They like to push hatred. Hatred always works. It's easier to hate. It's easier to push hatred, fear, than it is to push dialogue. To talk with somebody. Yes, you might not like somebody, but at the end of the day, what do we get? What do I get by fighting you over something that that you have no control of? It makes no sense. And they like to, false promises. They love confusion. They love confusion. One of the thing about confusion is you try to keep the debate in a certain setting, in a certain parameter, so it doesn't veer towards the real issues, cultural issues, tribal issues, blah blah blah, race and all that stuff. When the real thing is about fighting for, economic emancipation. And the way these oligarchs thrive too is that they with division against the masses. So the more you can have the masses divided, the better it is. The better it is for these elites. And this is how it is in every country. Every country. This is the whole reason of political party, to keep the masses divided. And I travel to, let's say, Ghana. You can see snippet of that. You expect a certain tribe to well, I don't like the using the word tribe, but you expect a certain ethnic group to vote a different way. But in Jamaica, what they do is that they break. Well, you don't have, let's say, ethnic groups with different language and so forth in Jamaica. It's basically the same people, but still, these people fight against each other basically in a similar way. So one side of town is supporting one political party while the other is supporting the next. And at the end of the day, these politicians are taking money, bribe, and orders from these oligarchies, and they all go up to the hill, they drink, they have fun, they come back down, they pretend to argue. As a matter of fact, sometimes they even fund violence, fund violence. But at the end of the day, they themselves, the politicians, will not get touched, while the regular people, you know, fight amongst themselves. So this one won't be a long one. I try to stay focused on this channel. We're trying not to fall for the divide and rule. The magnifying glass should remain on the elites in your country, in your country, the elites. And these elites don't have any loyalty to anybody but themselves and the money. They don't care about the country. I mean, look at Haiti. Haiti is basically ungovernable because of the chaos elites have caused. But they don't care. When they fly in to Haiti, they fly from the SA to France, to UK, to the US. They're untouchable. Nothing will happen to them. They can fly. They fly over the so-called slums and ghetto, and they go and sit in their palace to enjoy. And the more chaos they have in their in the country, the more they can amass wealth. The more they can take land, the more they can take resources. Without the people are not organized to see what is going on to challenge these people. So if this should reach any anyone, you're from Sudan, wherever you're from, organization is the key. I'm not talking, even though, especially in the past, a lot of our organization was infiltrated and so forth, movement collapse. But going forward, we're gonna have to figure a way how to get the people together. The people have to lead. The people have to be at the forefront of every discussion, of every change, of every step of development. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is less reason. Um, I just heard it. I just did the video about 80. You can check that as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. Stream Dialogue. Thank you.